oh, Jake, did you see Mike Tyson
No.
dropping his sparring partner?
I was talking about.
Yeah, I fucking saw it.
I was talking about.
No shit, I saw it. And I don't give a f.
Nice and strong. 35. Touch and go. 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 4. Nice. 5. Yes, sir. 6, 7.
Strong.
8. Strong. 9. Got this.
Let's go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go.
He's raising his techniques on the trains. Better and better every single day. His defense, his power, his speed, his endurance. Today he put everything together, the conditioning, everything that he needs to put a great show on November 15th.
As anticipation builds for the showdown between Jake Paul and boxing legend Mike Tyson, recent training footage of Tyson at 58 years old has sent shockwaves through the boxing community and seemingly struck a chord with Paul himself. The footage, which reveals Tyson's ferocious power, speed, and determination, showcases a level of physicality that's left many viewers in awe. Paul's own reaction to Tyson's impressive display in the ring has added fuel to the fire, with fans speculating that the social media star may be feeling genuine anxiety about what lies ahead.
Complete game. Beautiful game. Complete. There's nothing to say. You're complete.
Exactly, just enough. Beautiful roll, Mike. Excellent roll. Excellent defense, champ. This is the perfect head position. This we talk about it. 40 seconds.
You are winning the fight, so there's no reason for you to rush.
The newly released footage shows Tyson training with intensity, throwing rapid-fire punches, delivering crushing body shots, and moving with agility that belies his age. Tyson's unique combination of speed and power, a hallmark of his career, appears as strong as ever, with his strikes hitting pads with a force that's palpable even through the screen. Commentators and fans alike have been astounded by Tyson's ability to retain so much of his explosive energy, leading many to believe he's far more than a retired fighter returning for a final bout. The footage has reignited talk about Tyson's unparalleled punching power. Analysts who reviewed the clips pointed out that Tyson's blows could cause serious damage to even the most conditioned fighters, and they've raised questions about whether Paul, who has faced limited professional experience, is prepared for this level of power.
Sure, he's looking good. Sure, he's looking all of that. Oh, he's dropping people. He's fast. So the f am I.
According to sources close to Paul's camp, Jake was reportedly taken aback by the intensity of Tyson's training. Known for his confident persona and brash attitude, Paul's reaction is said to have been visibly different this time. In a leaked snippet from his training camp, Paul was allegedly seen watching Tyson's training video with a look of shock, mumbling to his team about Tyson's frightening power and speed. Paul's initial shock was quickly followed by a flood of comments from fans and media, who noted that his usual bravado seemed shaken. While Paul has faced other high-profile fighters and emerged victorious, the prospect of standing across from a boxing icon like Tyson appears to have made him pause. On social media, fans commented that Paul's reaction appeared terrified and nervous, with some pointing out that Tyson's legacy as a knockout artist might have finally put Paul in a position of genuine uncertainty.
What is that? Nice left hook. Up. Ooh.
At 58, boxing icon Mike Tyson refuses to let age slow him down as he gears up for his much-anticipated showdown with Jake Paul, the social media sensation turned boxer. Yet, Tyson's intense training has taken a dangerous twist, with one of his sparring partners hospitalized following a vicious knockout during a recent session. Reports from Tyson's training camp indicate that in a recent sparring match, the legendary heavyweight, known for his brutal power, landed a crushing blow that sent his sparring partner unconscious. The force of the punch was so intense that the individual required immediate hospitalization after losing consciousness. The sparring partner's identity remains undisclosed, though sources indicate he was an experienced professional. Even with his extensive background, he couldn't endure Tyson's formidable strength, a signature element of his fighting approach. When paramedics arrived, the sparring partner was awake but visibly dazed, and his condition is under careful observation.
What is that? Nice left hook. Up. Ooh.
It was good for today.
Yeah.
I truly believe.
You sure?
Yeah, me
Yes.
too.
You sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. You sure?
Yeah.
Yes. It's all right. Let's do this.
You did great.
We're done.
Tyson's legendary knockout power still echoes in the ring. Despite years of retirement and the toll of time on his body, many have questioned whether his aging frame could still back the fearsome style that once made him unstoppable. This recent display has silenced those doubts. Known for his devastating knockout record at his peak, Tyson appears to have preserved much of the ferocity that once defined him. Tyson's legendary uppercuts and hooks have flattened countless opponents, and it seems this sparring partner was no different. The The incident stands as a stark reminder of the raw danger Tyson still carries, even within the safety of a controlled setting. In recent interviews, Tyson has openly stated that his power remains largely intact, and this knockout offers solid proof of his enduring strength. The impending showdown between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has captured widespread media attention, sparking debate among fans about which factor will ultimately influence the outcome: Tyson's advancing age or Paul's relative inexperience. Paul, who transitioned from a YouTube career to boxing, has made a name for himself by knocking out former UFC fighters and fellow social media stars. Despite his unconventional rise in the sport, Paul's undefeated record in professional bouts speaks to his skill. Nevertheless, facing Tyson in the ring presents a vastly different challenge.
It's coming.
It's not how old you are, it's how old you feel.
I don't feel what the word old, I don't feel that.
No! Well, you're smart going into the new wave.
No, it's always the old wave, it's always this.
Yeah.
I could do all this stuff and not have this and that.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Tyson is approaching this fight with a serious mindset, dismissing any notions of it being a mere spectacle or exhibition. His training has been intense and focused, with sources revealing that Tyson is working with a renewed dedication and discipline. His preparation consists of demanding sparring sessions, an exhaustive fitness routine, and a deep dive into the core aspects of his fighting style. The recent knockout incident highlights his relentless pursuit to demonstrate that, despite his age, he remains a powerful force in the boxing arena. 3 weeks before their anticipated bout, Tyson posted a sparring video on social media, showcasing the moment he dropped his training partner with a powerful left hook, sending him tumbling halfway through the ropes. "I'm just getting started," Tyson wrote, accompanying the video. In July, Paul triumphed with a TKO win over Mike Perry, a notable figure in bare-knuckle boxing, bringing his professional boxing record to 10-1. Meanwhile, in November 2020, Tyson faced Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout, which went the distance and ended in a draw. Tyson's most recent official fight occurred in 2005, when he retired on his stool against Kevin McBride, suffering a loss via RTD. Almost 2 decades have passed since Tyson's last professional bout. In his 2020 exhibition match with Jones Jr., he proved he still had a glimmer of his former brilliance, while Paul, 31 years his junior, has the advantage of youth. The saying holds true: a fighter's power is the last thing to fade. In the midst of mounting concerns over his health, Mike Tyson's representative has reassured the public, confirming that the 58-year-old boxing legend is in excellent physical shape ahead of his upcoming fight with Jake Paul.
What's that?
My mother died at 16. If she came back to life, I wonder if she recognized me.
Yeah, she would. She would.
Yeah?
But she'd be proud of you. So you didn't end up staying in Brownsville.
Yeah, so far. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's reverse. I love it. Excellent.
20 seconds. And then the end. It's just like that.
Iron Mike is gearing up for an electrifying return to the ring, now slated to face off against the Problem Child on November 15th at AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas. The bout was originally planned for July, but Tyson was forced to step back after an ulcer flare-up delayed the anticipated showdown. The heavyweight legend has stayed away from the professional boxing scene since his 2005 defeat to Irishman Kevin McBride, a loss that led to his swift retirement. Yet 4 years ago, Tyson made a short-lived comeback, stepping back into the ring for an exhibition match against fellow retired boxing great Roy Jones Jr. As the fight approaches in under a month, anxiety among Tyson's fans about his health has grown. The worry deepened when Iron Mike confessed he's been struggling to walk following his sparring workouts. Tyson has stayed largely out of the social media spotlight lately, but every so often, he offers a sneak peek into his rigorous training routines. In a recent clip, he unleashed a devastating left hook that sent his sparring partner to the canvas, leaving fans stunned by his enduring power. In a different video, keen-eyed fans of Tyson spotted a possible issue with his right knee. While hitting a heavy bag and participating in sparring, Tyson was seen wearing a knee brace on his right leg. This raised concerns that he might be struggling with a minor injury just weeks before his scheduled fight. Tyson's representative Andrew Roof has now sought to quash any speculation over an injury. He told USA Today the knee support is strictly for preventative measures and has zero relevance on his performance or capabilities to win this fight. It's like one tennis star Novak Djokovic has worn. I think the same brand even. No injury here. He's looking invincible. When Iron Mike was a teenager, Teddy Atlas, who worked with Tyson under Cus Amato, also voiced his opinions on the compression sleeve. Didn't seem to be anything restricted in his movements or his legs coming forward. Atlas told USA Today. He added, usually when you have a knee problem, it would restrict you or compromise you more, going to the side. Tyson don't go to the side anymore. He mostly goes straight forward. Is the sleeve there because there was a problem? Is a problem? I didn't see any proof of that by what he was doing. Although the footage has sparked some concerns, Tyson's most devoted supporters are still optimistic that he'll deliver an unforgettable performance. In contrast, YouTuber KSI has weighed in on the upcoming boxing showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, predicting a disappointing outcome for Paul, whom he describes as awful. As the fight approaches, speculation continues to build among fans and analysts. Despite the mounting doubt, Paul remains self-assured, boldly challenging Tyson to a $5 million bet. Fellow YouTuber turned boxer KSI, the most recent commenter, said Paul looked awful in the training videos he had watched. In the 22nd of October YouTube video, KSI said, I've seen parts of Paul's training footage. God, he just looks awful, man. He just looks so slow, so sluggish. This isn't his natural weight. It is what it is. KSI went on to suggest that he thinks Paul will have the advantage due to his advanced age, notwithstanding his criticism. He said, I still think he's going to absolutely destroy Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is old as f***. When Tyson does get obliterated, and then people on Twitter are going to be like, how did we let this happen? Oh no, this is so bad. I'm going to be the one being like, well, I f***ing told you. Although both KSI and Jake Paul are boxers, they have yet to square off in the ring, despite Paul previously voicing his intent to decapitate KSI. However, reports suggest that Jake Paul is set to make his highly anticipated MMA debut in the summer of 2025. Almost 2 years ago, Paul inked an agreement to secure a stake in the Professional Fighters League, fueling continuous rumors about his possible entrance into the cage. While he had initially aimed for a fight this year, his loss to Tommy Fury in 2023 redirected his attention back to his boxing journey. Though the social media star is laser-focused on his upcoming fight with Tyson, he appears to have his sights set on an MMA debut in 2025. Details such as his weight class and opponent are still up in the air. In a recent conversation with MMA Fighting, PFL President Don Davis confirmed that Paul is now prepared to step into the smart cage for his first MMA bout. He tells me the summer of 2025. He added, he's been training. If Nate Diaz would have accepted the fight as he did in the center down in Dallas, he said, I'll take the fight. It would have happened. And then he backed away and didn't take the fight. And then later, he was ready to take the fight, but Jake had a lot of success in boxing, so wasn't yet ready to come back to MMA. Like Davis, PFL boss Peter Murray confirmed the American will switch to MMA in 2025. Speaking to Bloody Elbow last month, he said, Jake will continue on his boxing journey, but he is committed to making his PFL MMA debut in 2025. We have a partnership with Jake, and we're looking forward to supporting him in MMA. He then said, we're going to stage that mega event next year, and more to come on that too. That will happen. There's a number of opponents who continue to line up. Conceptually, this event continues to getting bigger and bigger. Jake is committed to take on a for-real, legitimate fighter, so it'll be a spectacle. Paul recently discussed his feelings about entering the cage and said he is ready to make his octagon debut, but only if he can find the perfect opponent. Paul said, it's just about finding the name. We have the money, we're ready to go, we're ready to make offers to people, but they just have to be able to draw sales. And it has to be a fight where it's like, this is my first MMA fight, so I think I can beat Nate Diaz in my first MMA fight. It would be tough, of course. He further added, it's a 50-50 fight, but I don't want to go into something where I'm going to be outclassed like fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov in my first fight. It would be very, very serious. I would probably start working with either Sean O'Malley's team or maybe Javier Mendez over in California. I would take it very, very seriously. I wouldn't want to lose. And I take everything I do seriously, so I would definitely go hard. Mike Tyson's legacy is indisputable. Revered by both experts and enthusiasts, he is frequently regarded as one of the sport's all-time greats. Even Jake Paul has consistently praised him, underscoring Tyson's lasting impact on boxing, particularly as they gear up for their much-anticipated fight. Boxing legend Evander Holyfield, celebrated for his fierce bouts with titans like Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson, boldly claims that none of them hit harder than George Foreman. Now 62, Holyfield stands as one of the sport's all-time greats, having claimed the undisputed cruiserweight title in the late 80s and the heavyweight crown in the early 90s. Retiring with an impressive October 2nd 44 record, Holyfield holds the distinction of being the only boxer to capture the world heavyweight title 4 times. Over the course of his extraordinary career, he triumphed over some of the sport's toughest opponents, including a unanimous decision victory over Holmes in 1992 and a TKO win over Tyson in 1996 to reclaim the WBA title. However, his journey hit a major bump in 1999 when he was defeated by Lewis in their rematch for the undisputed heavyweight championship. In an interview with ES News, Holyfield, who fought until 2011, admitted that despite these challenging bouts, Foreman delivered the most devastating hit. Recalling their 1991 fight during Foreman's comeback, Holyfield said, "The guy that hit me the hardest was George Foreman. He hit me one time in the 11th round, and I came back to the corner and I said, 'Did he knock all my teeth out?'" In 1987, Foreman made a triumphant return to the ring, determined to claim the title of the oldest boxing champion ever, a goal he achieved 3 years after his fight with Holyfield, as reported by The Mirror. Despite Foreman's formidable knockout power, Holyfield managed to maintain his undefeated record until a crushing defeat at the hands of Riddick Bowe a year later. Holyfield exacted revenge on Bowe in 1993, but his career was marked by a series of ups and downs as he faced off against some of the most formidable opponents of his time in the years that followed. After coming out of retirement for a high-profile exhibition in 2021, Holyfield was quickly overwhelmed in the first round by Vitor Belfort. Now, there are signs that he may be considering another return to the ring, possibly following in the footsteps of his former rival Tyson. Evander Holyfield, infamous for having part of his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson during their notorious 1997 rematch for the WBA title, is reportedly contemplating an unexpected return to the ring. Mams Taylor, co-president of Misfits Boxing, revealed in a TalkSport interview that Holyfield has expressed interest in facing off against KSI, the YouTube sensation who has become a key figure in the rise of influencer boxing. According to Taylor, Evander Holyfield made an attempt to fight KSI, but the promotion turned him down. He explained, "I know Holyfield contacted us about fighting KSI," and continued, "Again, we wouldn't do that. It needs to be two evenly matched fighters at an even age. If it was Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield for all the money in the world, we wouldn't do that." I think it's ironic because the cornerstone of Misfits Boxing is on a higher moral ground than some parts of traditional boxing. Ex-lightweight champion Anthony Crolla claims a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul would make a lot of people in boxing happy. According to Crolla, many boxing fans would be overjoyed if Tyson were to win. He said, "I think it's a bit dangerous. We don't know what kind of place Mike Tyson will be in. He looked great in the exhibition with Roy Jones Jr., but Jake Paul could never lace Mike's gloves when anywhere near his best. He shouldn't be anywhere near Tyson. One thing about Jake Paul is he does train like a boxer. He puts the effort in, and there's no denying the improvements. Paul is putting a lot of effort into getting ready for the battle, but Crolla has revealed something unexpected. Even if the boxing great knocks the problem child out, he won't be deterred." He added, "Yep, he probably wouldn't mind becoming a GIF for real. The fight against Tommy, I was more impressed with Jake than Tommy that day, even though I do believe Tommy just nicked it. But Jake is trying his best, having proper training camps." Paul has spent hours researching Tyson's previous bouts and believes the veteran will try to trap me on the ropes and then get blows off to angles on each side as their fight draws near in less than a month. When questioned about his strategy, Paul responded, "To just box on the outside and then use my footwork to be more agile and get him chasing me and then attack him when he's out of position. That should frustrate him." Earlier this year, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation officially designated this fight as a professional bout rather than an exhibition. Yet, it doesn't quite fit the conventional definition of a pro boxing match. After all, a 58-year-old former boxer who retired over 2 decades ago is preparing to face off against a former YouTube personality. This unconventional pairing led the TDLR, Texas's regulatory body for combat sports, to introduce several unique alterations to the standard rules and regulations for the fight. Let's take a closer look at the specifics of these adjustments. The upcoming bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will feature 2-minute rounds, a departure from the usual 3-minute format. Tyson believes this shorter duration will lead to a more intense and dynamic fight, a viewpoint that holds merit. The reduced round length will also help him conserve energy throughout the 8-round contest. Both fighters will wear 14-ounce gloves, and like Tyson's 2020 exhibition match with Roy Jones Jr., this fight will consist of 8 2-minute rounds. However, unlike the exhibition where knockouts were prohibited, the rules this time will allow for a different outcome. Headshots will be allowed, with knockouts also being a possibility. This heavyweight showdown could feature a notable weight disparity. Jake Paul has stated he plans to weigh in at about 220 pounds, while he expects Tyson to tip the scales around 235 pounds. A boxing ring typically measures between 16 feet by 16 feet and 24 feet by 24 feet, with the possibility of smaller dimensions still unconfirmed. The former heavyweight champion has voiced his preference for a more compact ring, aiming to reduce the time spent chasing an opponent. He suspects that Paul's agility could give him the upper hand, forcing Tyson to do the pursuing.
As Jake Paul realizes immediately he's in there with Mike Tyson. That Mike Tyson, at least for a round or two,
First
still
time
be
he
Mike
gets
Tyson.
cracked, it's gonna. I guarantee you, his head's gonna be like, oh shit.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
How many rounds is it?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
8 2-minute rounds.
That are 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think they're
minutes?
doing 2-minute rounds. Do they have 10-ounce gloves or 12-ounce gloves, Jamie?
about
14 ounces.
14s.
That's so sparring
Pretty
gloves.
big.
Although this is a professional bout, the TDLR has made a rare and significant exception that will influence the outcome of the fight. While professional boxers usually wear 10-ounce gloves, both competitors in this upcoming match will be using 14-ounce gloves, creating an unprecedented situation in Texas. This event is especially more significant because professional bouts that employ 2-minute rounds are uncommon in the city. Tella Mange, the communications manager for TDLR, stated, "We've had a couple of men's bouts that were professional debuts that were 2-minute rounds, but it's been a while and I haven't been able to figure out who those were." She went on to discuss why TDLR agreed to these exclusions in order to fight professionally. Mange stated, "If two contestants request terms that do not represent a safety issue and are not in violation of statute and/or rules, then we can agree to regulate the event and ensure those terms are enforced." According to her, the shorter rounds and heavier gloves don't make the tournament any riskier. Moreover, enforcing these regulations will safeguard both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Tyson, especially, has been dealing with various health issues recently, making it crucial to take preventive steps. On the other hand, opting for heavier gloves might reduce the impact of Tyson's famously powerful punches. While the changes endorsed by the TDLR may slightly dampen the thrill of the event, the fighter's health must always be the top priority. With less than a month to go until the much-anticipated showdown, Paul's longtime rival, KSI, is at the center of some heated remarks from his manager, Mams Taylor. Stirring the pot, Taylor has called the upcoming fight an exhibition, citing specific rules, despite it being marketed as a professional bout. In a candid interview with Fred Beck on YouTube, the English boxing promoter didn't mince words, throwing subtle jabs at the widely popular Netflix series surrounding the event. Taylor began by emphasizing how big of a draw Mike Tyson is, saying, "It's on Netflix. Mike Tyson's a massive name. One of the biggest names, if not the biggest name, in boxing. However, he's about 60, and it's an exhibition." Additionally, he speculated that there might be a secret provision that prohibits boxers from hitting each other in the head. However, as Taylor noted, despite Tyson's 2020 exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. proving this, no such rules are in place. It's 10 2-minute rounds. I don't know if they're gonna say don't hit each other in the head, like Mike did with Roy Jones. I don't know what the rule set is, but it definitely isn't a pro fight because no pro fights for men are 2 minutes long. They're not in 10-ounce gloves, so I don't know how it's a pro fight, Taylor told Fred Beck. So that's all from today's video. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.